Welcome back, guys. Today I have the ultimate ab workout for you. It's gonna be an entirely body weight workout that you can do at the gym, you can do at home, you can do it anywhere. So you have no excuse not to do this workout, and you have no excuse not to have abs. That being said, keep in mind that to really make your abs show, you gotta get your body fat percentage down by either eating in a calorie deficit, cutting carbs, or eating in a way where you are burning fat to make your abs show. But once they do, this workout's really gonna make your abs pop. In this workout, we're gonna be hitting the obliques, we're gonna be hitting the lower abs, the upper abs, and workouts that will do the entire core at the same time to really get the best ab workout possible. So let's get into it. So the first exercise we're gonna do is a side plank hip dip. So to do this exercise, we're gonna get into a side plank, and to do that, we're gonna put our elbow here on the floor. We're gonna put our feet together also on the floor, lifting our body off of the floor. Now you're gonna really start feeling this in the core. In this starting side plank position, make sure we're straight here. We don't wanna be sagging, we really wanna be flexed out, keeping this body straight. Just this side plank right here is really gonna work our core. And the movement we're gonna do here is a hip dip where we sink our hips to the floor, just touching the floor, and bringing them up into that high position. When we bring them up, really make sure we're all the way straight here, not sagging, maintaining straight, dipping down, coming up, and that is the hip dip movement. If you have trouble with this hip dip, you can just work on this side plank, which as you can probably tell from me talking, is extremely tiring and a great workout. But once this gets easier for you, you can actually work on this hip dip movement. Now, once you have this hip dip movement, where we're gonna add on to this to make it even more challenging, we're gonna do a hip dip knee crunch. Really training the sides of our abs and really hitting our obliques. So again, we're gonna put our hand up here by our head. We're gonna sink the hips, bring them back all the way straight, and then hit that crunch. It's already burning. I'm gonna come back down. Don't forget when we're doing this exercise, you guys, to do both sides. So we just worked our obliques, or the sides of the abs. Now we're gonna work the bottom portion of the abs. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lay down and we're gonna do a leg raise. When we lay down here, if this is comfortable for you, you can use this position. I like to take my hands and put them underneath my butt here. It just gives my back a little bit of support. It just feels a little better for me. And what we're gonna do is lay back. You can keep your neck or head off the floor, and we're gonna lift our feet up. And what we're gonna do here is we don't want our feet together. If you put them together, they're gonna help brace each other, making the exercise easier. So I guess if you need to start this way, you can, but ideally, if you can keep your feet apart and lift your legs up just using your core, and then bring them down. Don't let them touch the floor. Bring them all the way down, stopping just before the floor, really keeping constant tension on your abs. And that is the leg raise we want. Again, keeping the feet just apart, stopping just before the floor, and then bringing them up to about this high. Down and up. You're really gonna start feeling that lower part of your core burning. If this is too hard, the leg raise itself, you can literally just either hold your feet here. If you need to keep them together, you can. Or you can also keep them high and just hold it there. Either way is really gonna burn. You can also do nice, slow negatives as well to help build that strength. Now, once you have that down, what we're gonna add to this movement to make it even more effective and more challenging is a flutter. And by flutter, I don't mean a quick kick, which again is actually easier. We're gonna do a slow, controlled flutter, and we're gonna bring it up to that high point, and we're gonna bring it back down to that low point, keeping our feet off the ground the whole time, keeping tension on our abs the whole time. And after 30 seconds to up to a minute of this, your lower core is really gonna be burning, which is what we want. So next we are gonna do a mountain climber variation, which will train our abs as a whole. You've probably seen the mountain climber before. To get into a mountain climber position, we're gonna get into a high plank here, putting our hands on the floor about shoulder width apart, putting our feet behind us, kind of a push-up position here. And again, we wanna maintain a nice straight line with our body. We don't want our hips to sag, we don't wanna be too high, just kind of straight, almost like a hollowed out position, flexing and keeping tension on our core. That mountain climber, we're just gonna drive these knees forward here. And by holding this plank, we are already training our abs. And then by driving our knees upward here, we're also training our abs at the same time. So when we're doing this, you don't wanna just, bring the knees forward. You actually wanna drive them, flexing the abs and the core while we're doing it. So you're really getting those abs working with this mountain climber exercise. Now, if the mountain climber itself is too difficult, you can just hold this plank here. If this plank is hard, you can always hold a lower plank just like this. And once this gets easier, you can work your way up and then work your way into this mountain climber. Then what we're gonna do to make this mountain climber more challenging, we're gonna walk our hands out from that high plank position to what's called a low extended plank, like so. Even just doing this, your core is really gonna be working. Once you get to this position, you can try a mountain climber from here, which is a lot more difficult. This low extended plank, I'll even go lower here, really makes your core work. And then when you add that mountain climber on top of it, you're really getting an excellent full ab workout. Last exercise, we're gonna be training the upper part of our core. This is not gonna be the most exciting exercise, but when we're just using our body and no other equipment, the only real way to train the upper core or upper abs is with a crunch. So to do this crunch, I like to keep my legs pretty straight. What this does is it makes it so that when I'm sitting back all the way here and then crunching up, I'm extending my abs as much as possible. For me, I feel like if my legs are higher here, like in a traditional crunch, I'm not getting this full range of motion. It feels like when your legs are more straight, you're opening your abs and your core more, which is what we want to get a fuller range of motion with this crunch. I'm going to sit as far up as I possibly can, using my abs and my core to crunch up. I'm not using momentum. I'm not pulling my head with my hands. Again, I'm using my core, using my abs to pull my shoulders and upper body off the ground, coming all the way up, fully contracting my abs, then letting myself back down. And I'm not coming all the way to the floor and relaxing. I'm keeping constant tension throughout each rep with these crunches. Now, to make this movement more challenging, once you've got this down, what we're gonna do is lift our legs off of the floor here, keeping my feet apart, not together, apart, off the floor, and crunching. This is actually gonna keep tension throughout our entire core as we're focusing on the upper part of our abs, really making this exercise challenging and really effective. If this crunch in general is too difficult, you can start by bringing your legs up and doing a mini crunch here, coming up as much as possible before really going into this full crunch as I was showing you. And that is my ultimate ab workout, you guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Make sure to like and subscribe. Put any comments, any questions you have, and we'll see you on the next video.